Hey guys, Ryan here for Bender Wins. Hope everyone's doing well today. Here with your daily free picks. Okay guys, so before I get into it, I just want to take a second to wish a very happy Thanksgiving to all our American viewers out there. I hope you guys have an absolutely incredible Thanksgiving. And, we can pause and reflect. Although we're going through tough times, there is lots to be thankful for. So, all the best to you guys. I hope you have a great day. All right, so on to sports. I always love, even though I don't celebrate American Thanksgiving, I celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving. I always love American Thanksgiving because to me, it means something else. It means football, and maybe it means that to you guys too. But I think for Americans, it means family and football. I think for a lot of households, but it always means football, guys. And I like today's games. I do. I like today's games. It's a shame, given the circumstances, that we lost the third game. But we have a little sprinkle of college basketball tomorrow. We have some college football. So it's going to be a fun day. All right. And that's if you can sneak away from your family for a few minutes to watch the game. I know that, there's probably a lot of TVs on in the background with a lot of, husbands or wives kind of looking over the shoulders of other people watching the game and checking the score. But should be a fun day, right? Okay, guys, so here's what I got today. I have 2 picks for you guys in free picks, 3 additional plays in Masterclass. So I have a pick in the early football game for you guys. I have a total play in the Gonzaga-Kansas game. Masterclass, I have a pick in the second football game. I have a pick in a college football game, and I have a side winner in the Gonzaga and Kansas game as well. Quickly guys, so early on, college basketball, mixed results. So, we're far from done yet. Actually, 2 of the, when I'm filming this, 2 of the free picks plays haven't gone off yet. So far it's looking like we're doing pretty good in the Masterclass picks in terms of, what are we looking at? Yeah, in terms of, overall, but we had some early favorites, in terms of ranked teams, Wisconsin, Kentucky, Michigan State blew it late, 18 turnovers. They turned the ball over 18 times. I think there's 27 points off turnovers. Very ugly start for Michigan State, but they got it done. They didn't have to play perfect to win that game, but they did miss covering. They were covering with a minute to go, but, whatever. Anyways, as I said, guys, with college basketball, it's going to be a long season, hopefully. We're going to take our time. There's probably not going to be a lot of 2-unit plays right off the bat. We're going to get a feel for it. I mean, we saw yesterday, were we ever on the right side of that Old Dominion line move, right? Like we had the line at 132.5. That line drifted all the way down to 124, might have even got 123.5. I think I saw at one book. So almost a full 10 points. That line drifted down. I said, I love the money distribution. We had the system indicators, but that didn't matter. I mean, it really didn't. I mean, there's no question what side the sharps were on with this, betting that down a whole almost 10 points. But the game zoomed over. So, and I think that was the case with a lot of them. I'm going back. So not only the games that I bet, but I'm going back over all the games because we're at the start of the season. I think that's important. It's not just, the games we bet. It's important to go back over some of the other games and games that I fortunately laid off on where the money distribution looked pretty good towards the under, again, sailed over. There was a couple games that, that did come in on the underside that I was kind of looking at, but, it could be an early trend that we're seeing, where these games could go over. There was not a lot of defense being played in some of these games. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We're going to play it by ear, and we're going to, adjust our power ratings and adjust everything based on what we see. Now, the one thing I talked about in Masterclass yesterday, which I do think will hold true, and you do have to be selective here. You can't just blindly do it. But early on in the season, guys, these good ranked teams, against some of these, questionable basketball teams, like they'd be a good high school basketball team, but not so much in college. The early in the season, guys, there's a tendency to run these games up, run the scores up. Okay. They're all looking to get seeded. They're jockeying for position. And a year like this where, we're seeing that defense be a little bit suspect. Who is that going to favor more? It's going to favor these really, these good ranked teams, right? So, yeah, I guess it remains to be seen. But you know, I did say in yesterday's masterclass video, because we had four ranked teams yesterday. You know, doing pretty good so far. But I think that could be an early trend. But very important, if you guys are jumping on the, you know, on the early ranked team bandwagon, very, very important, guys. Once we get a couple weeks into this, reevaluate, okay? Reevaluate, because I've seen this before many times, okay? And you guys know I follow college basketball pretty close. I've seen this a lot. These ranked teams, they get off to these really hot starts, okay? And they're covering spreads left, right, and center, okay? And they're taking in 85% of the money, okay? These lines get adjusted, guys, and all of a sudden these teams either don't even come close to covering, or they start missing by a point, half a point, 2 points. Everyone thinks, oh, what's going on? Vegas makes the adjustment, guys. I've seen this many times before, and this is assuming that, you know, these ranked teams do get off to a really, really good start against these unranked teams. Be very careful outside of, you know, 2 weeks. When we get outside 2 weeks and that's still the trend, tread cautiously, guys, and even start looking for value on the other side, okay? And that's the importance of creating your lines based off your power ratings, is you can come back and you can say, look, you know, I think that, you know, whoever, I think, you know, San Diego State should be, you know, plus 20 in this instance, right? And they're getting plus 26. It's a lot of value there, okay? So that's where, you know, there is some importance there. But anyways, guys, we'll continue to talk about that. But let's jump into today's plays. So like I said, guys, I have 2 plays for you, 3 additional plays in Masterclass. If you're interested in Masterclass, benderwins.com, guys. It's $99 a month. You get all my picks, all the Masterclass videos, and we're just starting college basketball, so pretty good time. We got lots of sports on, right? It's exciting. I'll tell you what I got here, guys. First off, I got a 2-unit play for you guys, okay? I have a 2-unit play. We have Detroit and Houston, okay? Interesting matchup on paper. We've seen how these teams have performed, but let's look at this game. I'm going to give you a breakdown. Let's look at this game from, you know, a power standpoint, in terms of a power rating standpoint, and my power rating standpoint. And you know, we compare notes. When I say we, like, you know, other pros, we compare notes sometimes. My power rating has them higher than I think a lot of other people. And I'm going to tell you guys why, okay? Here's a reality of the situation, okay? Especially when you're looking at Detroit, okay? So Detroit's high point of the season, they went in Arizona. They beat Arizona in week 3, okay? Since then, who have they beaten, okay? They beat Jacksonville. So what, okay? They beat Atlanta. Okay, I mean, Atlanta has not been great. Okay, and they beat Washington. Okay, beat Washington. Again, I'm sorry, Washington, but so what, right? Their highlight was really back in week 3. Since then, they've suffered. They got shut out last week. For me, guys, I look at this Houston team, and I know the first thing people say, Houston, you know, they can't stop anything. They literally can't stop anything. But here's the situation, okay? Let's look at their numbers. Let's look at their actual numbers. So we're going to look at the yardage and the points they've given up. And they've actually, for the amount of yards they've given up, they've done a pretty good job of limiting the points somewhat, okay? But we got to look at their schedule, guys. We have to look, okay, talk about opening with the Chiefs. Loss, okay? Most teams lose to the Chiefs, okay? Ravens, they lost to Ravens. Okay. Steelers, everybody lost to the Steelers. Okay. Titans, Tennessee's doing amazing this year. And the Packers. Okay. These are the teams they're losing to. Now, the last game they lost, okay? The last game they lost, they had to play a game against the Browns with 30+ mile-an-hour winds. You guys saw it. Kicked the ball outside the upright, and by the time that ball landed, it was 20 feet on the other side. You can't play football, especially with a passing offense like Houston. There's no way. You throw the ball, and the ball just takes off, like, literally into the sideline. You can't throw the ball. Okay, I watched that game, start to finish, guys. To me, that was a coin flip game. That game really heavily favored the Browns, just because the fact that, you know, Houston does rely a lot on their pass, and they just couldn't, they couldn't throw the ball. Okay, last week, guys, they beat the Pats, okay? And again, you know, the Pats have been shaky, but they beat the Pats. That's still something, okay? Next, two out of the next 3 weeks, this Houston team has to face the Colts, okay? What a schedule. What a schedule, okay? Chiefs, Ravens, Steelers, Titans, Packers. They got to play, who did I just say? The Colts. Yeah, of course. They have to play Indy 2 times out of the next 3 weeks, okay? Believe me when I tell you guys, this game is circled on their schedule, okay? They had a tough go early on, okay? They're out to prove they're not as bad as their record suggests, and I suggest that they're not as bad as their record suggests. I'm telling you guys right now, they are not as bad as the numbers on paper, okay? Whereas Detroit, I think they're every bit as bad as the numbers on paper, all right? In this particular game, guys, I think that not only will Houston be able to move the ball, I think they'll be able to get it done on the defensive side as well. Now, here's an interesting game, okay? It's an interesting game in that, it's got a little bit of a higher total, and I think, they're expecting a bit of back and forth. The way I looked at this, guys, I think that this is the game that Houston wins a fair amount of the time. That being said, guys, I look at a lot of historical data on my database, everything like that. I like Houston. I really like Houston win this game. But I actually think there's more value on the money line in this game than there is laying the 3 points. Not to mention a lot of books right now, not only are you laying 3 points, but you have to lay additional juice on top of that. So I've seen -3, having to lay -115 up to -120. So to me, guys, the value in this game is just taking Houston 2 units on the money line, -162. Okay? So laying -162, guys, it opens up a ton of options. Okay? There are a lot of games in National Football League decided by 3 points. I think that, as I said, I think Houston, guys, based on the power ratings and everything, I think that they're a much better matchup than Detroit. I think they're a much better option. As well, steam. Lots of steam on the game. There was one early reverse line move on Detroit. The rest of the teams all come in on Houston in this game, guys. So that's going to be our play. Houston 2 units. We're going money line -162. If you feel that's too risky for you, if you want to go 1 unit, you can. I'm fine with this juice. So I'm just going to go 2 units straight up money line. But if you guys wanted to go 1 unit -3, again, you have to lay a bit of juice on that. And 1 unit on the money line, that's fine. But for me, guys, in the pick, 2 units on what I think is a team that's much better than their record. Okay. Finally, guys, Gonzaga and Kansas, guys, straight up, I like the over in this game, guys. Again, early trend we've seen teams put up points early on. Couple steam bets early on the over. The line has already moved from 148 up to 149. So let's grab it at 149. I'm telling you right now, 100%, guys. We get more over steam on this, and sky's the limit on this line, okay? We've seen 2 come in. They moved that line 1. They're being, I think, cautious of over-moving it, because you have to think about these syndicates, how these syndicates work, guys. Every once in a while, they will give you a head fake. They'll give you a little head fake. Okay, they'll try and get that lineup. And what does Vegas do? What do I always tell you Vegas does early on with steam? They overreact, okay? And the syndicates know that, okay? Syndicates, like big betting groups, tons of money. They don't have an issue, throwing $25,000, $50,000 just as a head fake, right? So they throw that, early head fake, and the line moves, and then they slam it the other way, and Vegas is cautious. But now that we've seen those couple steam bets come in, we haven't seen anything come down on the under. It's unlikely that you're going to see, a bunch of bullets being fired at these like head fakes. And I don't think that's what this is. I don't. But that's always possible with early steam. Early steam could be fake moves. It could be to get the price over, where they're getting more value. So they bet $25,000 or $50,000, move that line, early on. Then all of a sudden they come back and their syndicate goes to work and they put $2.5 million on the under, and they've gotten a ton of value. So that's not what I'm seeing here. But my point is, there's 2 steam bets on the over. Okay. Another one comes in. It's only moved 1 point, but another like decent steam bet comes in. You could see this line, go up a couple points more than it has already. So I like the total there, guys. So Gonzaga, Kansas, over 149. If you guys are interested in Masterclass, I do have the second NFL football game. I have a college football game, and I have a side winner in Gonzaga and Kansas. All right, so thank you guys very much. Again, to the American viewers out there, have a very happy Thanksgiving. And as always, guys, have a very lucky day and lots of turkey.